Reach Records is an independent recording label specializing in Christian hip hop and was founded in 2004 by Ben Washer and hip hop artist Lecrae. In addition to Lecrae, Reach Records roster contains artists Andy Mineo, Tadashi, KB, Trip Lee, and most recently Gavi, as well as the hip-hop group 116 Click. Reach Records has been featured on numerous sites such as Rapzilla, New H2O, Jamney Height, and other well-known Christian music websites. They're also known for bringing the Unashamed movement to the forefront and have been one of the biggest independent record labels that predominantly feature Christian hip-hop artists. However, due to their recent years of success, they have often been scrutinized for using mainstream/secular elements in their music to reach out to people who normally don't listen to Christian/sacred music. But is using mainstream elements in Christian music a bad thing? Join me on this special Testify Talks segment as we address the question, is Reach Records too mainstream? Stick around to find out. Alrighty guys, jumping straight into the special Testify topics today. Again, our main focus is going to be on Reach Records and whether or not using mainstream music and Christian music is a bad thing. Again, going Reach Records, they were founded in 2004 by Ben Washer and by hip-hop artist Lecrae. And again, they're most commonly known for starting the Unashamed movement, or at least bringing it to the forefront. And their also main roster features the hip-hop group known as the 116 Click, which stands for Romans 1:16. And I can honestly say I've been a big supporter and fan of Lecrae since his early days. I was exposed to his music in 2010. I was exposed to his artistry and what he is about and his team and everything in 2010. But I went back and listened to all their old stuff that they used to put out, and I got to say that Lecrae and his group, they're just a phenomenal group of men of God who love hip-hop and love their cities and just want to see their cities grow and want to see Christ in everything that they do. But as often at times when they are brought to the forefront, they're getting judged and scrutinized for working with other mainstream producers or artists, whether it be something as a project, featuring on a song that they have, or featuring on someone else's songs. They've been getting a lot of hate and a lot of judgment for that. And so that brings us to our topic today, is Reach Records too mainstream? Now, most recently, Lecrae, he just released his new album/mixtape, Church Clothes 3, and it featured the artist E40 on it. And a lot of people were wondering why he would feature E40 on it. E40 does nothing but degrade women in his music. What is he trying to do? He's trying to get fans of E40 listening to his music, and when they're listening to his music, they're going to be exposed to the gospel, and essentially that's going to be able to start getting some wheels turning in their head to the point where they will stop, living in the sinful world, and they'll start, be like, oh, I like this Lecrae guy. He's actually got a good insight and everything. So stop with all the hate with Reach Records, guys. I get what they're trying to do. I heard the same thing about when Tadashi did Jump Out the Whip. Look, like Tadashi said, he just wanted to have a fun, up-tempo song and just have some fun. But everyone, I feel like sometimes we get too set in our old ways, or we feel like we just can't have fun, or we feel like we have to stick to a little box. And like Lecrae and all the other members have said, they don't like being confined to the box. And I agree with their sentiments about not wanting to be confined to a little box, because if you guys don't know, I'm also a Christian hip-hop artist, and I often use mainstream elements in my music as well. But I'm being completely unbiased in this topic, though. But I see exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to reach out to people who normally wouldn't listen to Christian music. And we need more artists out there like that, because essentially if we just focus on the ones who listen to who are diehard Christians, they go to church every single week, they serve in the church, we focus on just the ones inside of the church walls, then who's going to be reaching out to the ones outside of the church walls? You often hear people talk about the church as a hospital, and that the church isn't necessarily for people who already have a relationship with Christ. It is, but at the same time, it's more so for people who don't know Christ. Because if you're in the church and you're within his walls and you have that relationship with him, you're going to continue to flourish and continue to grow, Lord's willing. But those who have no idea who Jesus is and don't have a relationship with him, how are they supposed to find out about it? And music is universal. Music is one of the biggest things that unites us. You can take a group of people who don't like each other, bring them together, and they'll find some common ground, especially when it comes to music. Uh, that's one of the things that I like about Reach Records. They're willing to go to different places, and they're willing to work with people who normally wouldn't exactly work with Christian artists. I look at artists like Bun B, E40, Paul Wall, B.O.B., some of these other guys who have never stated that they were Christians, except for Bun B, of course. He is very adamant about his faith, and I believe Paul Wall at in one time in an interview or another stated was very adamant about his faith. But you have a lot of mainstream artists who aren't adamant about their faith, and then you have guys like Lecrae, Andy, or Tadashi. They go out and they work with these guys, and they're not only ministering to them, but they're also ministering to their fans. Because if B.O.B. or whoever, let's say One Shoe, and that's an inside joke. Let's just say One Shoe decides to feature on this guy's song. Now the guy's a Christian hip hop artist, and he wants to get someone from the mainstream community to feature on his song because he ultimately wants to reach out to One Shoe's fan base, but also at the same time wants to minister to him. What's the best way to do that? Collab on the song. Going back to the whole E40 thing of him featuring on Lecrae's album, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I look at it as like Lecrae is trying to not necessarily use E40, but is trying to minister to E40, but at the same time reach out to his fan base so they can get wheels and gears turning in their head, and they'll finally be able to wake up. A lot of times I feel like we're too afraid to step outside of our comfort zone, to step outside of our boxes, because we're afraid that people are going to judge us or people are not going to like us. And that's one thing I can honestly say about Lecrae and them. They don't care about what people think about them. They don't care if people think that they're too mainstream. They continue to do what God has called them to do, because God has given them a specific plan and a purpose. And for all we know, God has told them, look, I want you guys to be the ones that can be devil's advocate or be my advocate and go out there and minister to the mainstream community as well as to their fans, because I want them to be inside my church walls just like everybody else who would normally listen to Christian music. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Do you think Reach Records is too mainstream? Do you think that Christian artists should just work only with Christian artists? Or do you think Christian artists should step out of their comfort zones and work with other mainstream artists in the hopes to minister to them, but minister to their fan base as well? Let me know what you think, guys. Again, thank you so much for sticking around. If you're a fan of Reach Records, make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button as well. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and please stick around for more videos to come. And before I forget, if you're also a fan of Reach Records and the Unashamed movement, make sure you check out my video that I just posted not too long ago reviewing Andy Mineo's new album, Uncomfortable. I hope you all have a blessed day, and this is your boy Testify Music, signing out.